understand the greatness of what they shared. Romeo and Juliet's love was not perfect. They were young. They were fast. They were emotional. They made dangerous choices. But their love revealed a truth that the older generation had forgotten. Love is more powerful than family pride. Peace is more important than ego. Life is more precious than revenge. And hatred always asks for payment. Sometimes the payment is paid by innocent people. The story also teaches us about communication. If the families had spoken honestly, maybe the tragedy could have been avoided. If Romeo had received the letter, maybe he would have waited. If Juliet had been able to tell her parents the truth, maybe there could have been another way. If people had listened before judging, maybe the ending would have been different. But nobody listened early enough. That is why silence becomes dangerous in this story. Love was forced to hide. Truth was delayed. Messages failed. Fear grew. And death came before understanding. This story also teaches us about time. Romeo and Juliet had only a short time together, but their short love changed the long hatred of two families. This is very powerful. Sometimes one pure love can expose years of darkness. Sometimes one tragedy can wake up people who refuse to listen. Sometimes one loss can teach what many warnings could not teach. Romeo and Juliet did not live to see peace, but their love created peace after them. This makes the ending both sad and beautiful. Sad because they are gone. Beautiful because their love was not meaningless. Their love ended the feud. Their love changed Verona. Their love became eternal. The prince gives the final feeling of the story. He says that there has never been a story of more sorrow than the story of Juliet and her Romeo. This line stays in the heart because it reminds us that this is not a happy ending. But it is a meaningful ending. And sometimes the most unforgettable stories are not the happiest ones. They are the ones that make us feel deeply, think deeply, and remember deeply. Romeo and Juliet is not famous only because two young people fall in love. It is famous because their love stands against hate. It is famous because their story is beautiful and painful at the same time. It is famous because their ending makes us ask important questions. Why do people continue hatred they do not even understand? Why do families sometimes choose pride over peace? Why do young hearts suffer because of old anger? Why do people realize love's value only after losing it? These questions make the story timeless. Even today, Romeo and Juliet feels alive because the world still has division. Families still fight. People still judge names, groups, status, religion, culture, and background. People still carry old hatred. People still forget that behind every label, there is a human heart. That is why this story still matters. It tells us, do not let hate become tradition. Do not let pride become stronger than love. Do not let anger destroy what is innocent. Do not wait until death teaches you the value of peace. My friends, Romeo and Juliet is one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking stories ever written. It begins with hatred. It moves into love. It rises into hope. It falls into tragedy. And it ends with a lesson the world can never forget. Romeo and Juliet were born into two enemy families. But their hearts did not understand hatred. Their hearts only understood love. They found each other in a world that wanted to keep them apart. They loved each other in secret because society gave them no safe place to love openly. And in the end, their love became a sacrifice. A sacrifice that finally ended the anger between the Montagues and Capulets. but the peace came too late. That is the pain of this story. Peace should not need death. Families should not need tragedy to understand love. People should not wait until the grave to forgive each other. This story teaches us to choose love before it is too late. To choose peace before pride destroys everything. To listen before judging. To forgive before the heart becomes stone. To stop hatred before it reaches the next generation. Romeo and Juliet did not get a long life, but they became eternal in literature. Their love became a symbol of young love, a symbol of forbidden love, a symbol of pure emotion, a symbol of the terrible cost of hatred. Their story still touches hearts because deep inside, every human being understands the desire to be loved beyond names, beyond labels, beyond boundaries, and beyond the world's judgment. Romeo and Juliet remind us that love is delicate. Love needs protection. Love needs truth. Love needs peace around it. And if love is surrounded by hatred, even the most beautiful feeling can become a tragedy. So remember this. Do not let hate win early and cry for love later. Do not let ego speak louder than the heart. Do not let old anger destroy young dreams. And do not wait until loss teaches you what love was worth. Romeo and Juliet lived for a short time, but their love still lives. In books, on stages, in films, in classrooms, in hearts, and in every person who believes that love should be stronger than hate. That is why the world still remembers them. Not because their love was easy, but because their love was brave. Not because their ending was happy, but because their story was unforgettable. Romeo and Juliet lost their lives, but their love gave Verona a truth. Hatred can destroy families. Pride can destroy futures. But love, even when it is broken by death, can still leave a light behind. And that light can shine for hundreds of years.